Pump it up, pump it up.
Trae.
Oh, come on, come on.
With Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with Trae.
This is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation, to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peace that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of The Day with Trae. I am your guest host, Alicia Crank, and we are closing out this week with Cherryl Jackson Williams.
Hello.
From Homestead Community Land Trust. You are the board chair.
Yes, I am.
How are you today?
I'm feeling excellent. Thank you so much.
It's great to finally meet you. I've known you by reputation for a while.
I hope it's all good.
All good.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And I'm a fan of the organization and the work that they do, and we'll dive into that in just a moment. But I want to give you a moment to talk about what's happening over at the Land Trust, and you guys have a big event coming up.
Yes, we do. So September 27th, this Saturday coming up at 7:30, we will be having our annual fundraiser. But a little different than other fundraisers
Talk about it.
We're bringing in Stacey Abrams.
Yes, you are.
We love for our organization to be a sponsor of inspiration, of thought partnership, of activism. And we do that by bringing in guests that really inspire that. And so Stacey Abrams, who has been able to challenge community political fears, all of us to really think about how do we use our voice, how do we make sure that we're supporting those that may not have ever thought about having a voice, use their voice to challenge the status quo and build community and ensure that all of us are thriving and not just some, has been a great just contribution to our world. And so to bring her here so that folks can experience that live on 5, if you will, is really wonderful, and we're excited about that.
I'm excited for you because, I mean, this has been, I've seen people talk about it for a while. It keeps showing up on my social media channels. I think Hey Black Seattle did a thing. I didn't win the VIP tickets, but that's okay. But still love y'all. But, I was talking to you, before we came on the air, and as someone who used to work at a large organization where one of the roles was trying to find these guest speakers for our annual fundraisers, it's much more difficult now in this current climate being just where things are financially over the past couple of years, and being able to do that. So the fact that you were still able to secure Stacey is amazing. I'm just assuming you have a great team that's working out with that. How were they able to make that happen?
Definitely. I think it's a great team, but I think it's also the legacy of the Community Land Trust and what we stand for. One of the things that we always do when we reach out to, invited guests and folks that we're vetting them, they're vetting us, is we tell our story of who we are and what we believe in. We also have a conversation with their team or with them personally to express how their mission, their values, their principles align with our work, and how we believe that in that alignment, it provides an opportunity for real thought-provoking conversation. So it's not just a keynote speech, if you will. It's a conversation where others are able to listen in as if they were flies on the wall and get that knowledge and get that wisdom. I think so many times, we're moving so quick as community, and we have to be responsive. This allows us to be a little proactive and just sit in space with greatness.
We need to
and be able to channel some of that information and some of those thoughts and see how we can take those and cultivate them and integrate them into what we're doing here, right in Seattle, in the greater King County and Pierce County.
And I say one of the reasons why I say that I've been kind of following along, because I live up in Snohomish County. So it's like, but the concept of community land trust is where I first kind of got introduced by your organization, but again, not been very much into it because of all these. Can you talk to people who may not understand what that is? Talk a bit more about what Homestead Community Land Trust is.
Right. So before I talk about Homestead Community Land Trust, I need to give flowers and be thankful to our predecessors. And those were Black activists and farmers and community leaders in Georgia that saw a need for community to be able to have access to ownership and have access to ownership in an affordable way.
Absolutely.
So what it really does so that we can speak all the same language is it takes land and holds that land as a community asset. And now, you know, rather than it being a collection of farmers and organizations and what have you, it's a nonprofit that's Homestead. That holds that land for community as an asset. And what folks are able to do is still be able to buy a home. So when you take the land and hold that as the asset for all of community to enjoy, and the home structure is still there to build on to the legacy of purchasing a home for families, what you find is that that normal home that usually would have been $600,000, mid 500s, is now anywhere from $281,000 to $321,000.
Oh, wow.
So that is the power of taking property out of the speculative market and putting it into a space where everyone can build. And one of the things that we're always excited about is that this can be your forever home, or this can be the home that you hand, that you hand back to community and say, you know, I'm ready for someone else to benefit like I did, and I want to go into the speculative market and buy a home somewhere else. So it offers, you know, a legacy of affordable home ownership, because you know, if you bought the home for $321,000, the way that things are set as far as the particular goals around interest rates and what have you, is that yes, you will get some benefit from that. You will get an interest rate, but because you were able to benefit from that reduced rate, just like everyone in your community, when you are selling that home, there is now a new family that gets to experience the same thing that you did and get the same cost benefits that you did. So
now, I'm slightly nerding out over this, mainly because, again, I'm up in Snohomish County, but I've served on like the Edmonds Planning Board for 6 years, and then another countywide one. So a lot of land use and zoning. And I'm like, I wish more people understood when it comes to land use and land ownership, that zoning is so important. Especially when you talk about affordable housing too. You don't wait until you want to do it, then go through city council and work your way down. It's like, no, get in from the planning level, so that when opportunities like this happen, that it's not such a roadblock, if it is a roadblock, to try to secure it. Number one.
Exactly. But I think one of the things that we know is that as urban enclaves are sprouting up everywhere, you know, land does become hard to find. So it's also around that community muscle and that community tenacity, because when we're united, there's not a lot that we're not able to do. So with that in mind, one of the things that we're looking at Homestead is because there have been plenty of communities that have reached out, you know, not just from Pierce County, but even from King County, like Vashon, and some other interested community members that are in Snohomish as well, is saying, hey, you know, one of the things that we are looking at is given our work in Skyway, and how that community was able to mobilize and collaborate not only with Homestead, but with Community Land Conservancy in King County to move forward in having one of the largest community land trusts here in Washington, is to say we need to create a playbook. And that playbook would be able to give solid supports and understandings to folks to say, hey, this is some pre-work that needs to happen before you even get here. And it's like those things of being able to do that landscape analysis to see what's available, what's not, being able to understand who do you need to be talking to when you're looking at land, being able to understand, you know, when you think about a cohort of people, how many folks do you need for people power? all of those different things. And so we're excited not only to be able to be in collaboration in this way and to be moving forward successfully, we're excited about creating a playbook so that all our brothers and sisters around King County, Pierce County, Snohomish, wherever they are, they can be able to look at it and learn from our mistakes, be able to learn from our growings, and be able to move forward in creating community land trusts in collaboration with Homestead or by themselves.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm glad that you guys are excited about creating that playbook, 'cause I think because of, or despite, in some cases, COVID changed how we migrated out of kind of the major, migrated out of Seattle to go either points north or south.
Right.
So I've definitely seen a higher concentration of persons of color coming into Snohomish County, probably going down into Pierce County and before. And so now maybe conversations that were not being listened to in those areas beforehand now is becoming, hey, I want to talk about this. How does this go? And then also, I think that there's a conversation to be had about those, and I'll put myself in this category of someone that didn't necessarily dream of home ownership, right? Because either I grew up in Detroit, and I was like, and I mean, unless I was married with kids, I wasn't really thinking about, oh, I need to like, owning a home was not the American dream. But there are still people now, even as singles or as partnered, are going, you know what, I still want to own something, just because we don't want to get priced out of the place that we've called home.
Definitely.
And I've experienced that too. And it's like, I never want to go through that again. You know, so it's not the dream of, oh my God, I've achieved this American dream of owning my home. I'm just trying to achieve the dream of not being told I got to go because I can't afford it anymore.
Definitely.
And that type of thing.
And definitely when you think about home ownership, it's one of the things that I come from a Southern family that really values home ownership. So from the beginning of time, you know, I was talked to about how it brings stability. It's able to bring an opportunity for you to pass on generational wealth to your family. You're able to be able to have opportunities to engage in community and engage in school and have candidates listen because sometimes they listen more to homeowners than they do anyone else because they feel like the homeowner is going to be staying there and they're going to be passing their vote. So those things kind of come to mind. But the other piece that we don't talk about as much, and I think I need to let my brothers and sisters know, is that right now, homes, the mortgage for a home is sometimes less than it is for what it is for rent in an apartment.
Absolutely.
So, you know, when I'm talking to my brothers and sisters and I'm talking about home ownership and they're like, oh, you know, that's just too much. I can't afford it. I'm like, you're paying $2,800 a month in your rent. Your mortgage would have been
like 16.
I said, your mortgage would have been 2. You would have had 800 to be able to put towards, you know, bills and some other things. So it's also being able to think about the money you're saving because you're investing in your family and yourself. And you're not spending that wild, outrageous amount of money for somebody else's mortgage.
So that's an education component. I think that's what's been missing too, is how do you grab attention for people to go, okay, you just need to sit here for 5 minutes and listen to this piece. Do you feel like, I kind of think I know the answer to this, but do you also feel like, are there real estate professionals that are talking to members of the community about this? And I asked that because I was at an event over the summer, again, up in Edmonds, and one of my real estate friends up there was getting ready to put together like an educational seminar about something like this. And he goes, some people were like pushing it off, saying, oh, they don't qualify because we don't have enough here yet. Like, yes, we do. There's still opportunity. So do you feel like there are people that are in kind of the real estate market that are partnered with you or connected to you and somehow that's kind of helping push that narrative, to push the education?
And that was one of the pieces that Skyway had as part of the collaboration with Homestead, is making sure that the community was prioritized for the folks that grew up there, that wanted to stay, or people that were pushed out. And one of the things they identified is making sure you ready them through them understanding credit, through them understanding home ownership, through them understanding the buying process. There are plenty of real estate professionals, especially within our community, our Black community, that are doing the Education 101, how home buying 101 sessions. I will say one of the things that Homestead is doing is that, or has done in the past, is that we're going a little bit deeper because we understand that some people are very motivated. Like, let me go go to that home buyer one-on-one session and I'm ready to go. Let me get the information I need and I can apply it. Where other folks, they don't have anyone within their generation, within their family who's ever bought a home. And so there's a lot of fear around that. Like, okay, I got the information, but what do I do next? So one of the things that we have did in the past and we're looking to replicate it again or, do it again is have a coaching session where it's a cohort that they're learning about the process together, but they're also learning from each other, motivating each other, supporting each other through taking the layers of fear that usually happen around the home buying process so that folks can truly see themselves being a part of that social fabric. So we're excited to continue to explore how do we do that and do it on a bigger level.
So for those who may just be learning about this or even just homestead in general, who qualifies for this type of home ownership program?
Yeah, so for Washington specifically, it could depend on the organization and what they implement. But for Homestead, we are looking for when we're looking for candidates anywhere between 60% area median income to 80%. And then there are some homes that are market rate, but when we say market rate, not the regular market rate that you see everywhere else, but just an increased rate in comparison to the other homes that are for sale. And what we found is that there are plenty of Black and brown folks that they don't make enough to be able to compete on the market, but they make too much to qualify for down payment assistance or some of the other types of home opportunities that are out there. And so this provides them with an opportunity to be able to get access to a forever home as well.
Yeah. So let's go back to the event itself. So it's happening tomorrow, Saturday. So people that are watching this now on Friday go, hey, I didn't know she's going. Can we still go? Is there still opportunity?
There is opportunity to go. However, we will not be selling at the door or any of those things. So as soon as you see this and you haven't bought a ticket, you're going to want to get a ticket so that you could be able to move forward in being in the conversation with Stacey Abrams. Yes.
I might try to sneak in. Okay.
Yes.
And so one last question I want to leave you with before having you say what you want to say to the rest of the audience is, who are you? Like, how did you become chair of this board? What is your background that got you involved with this organization in the first place?
Well, number one, I am a Skyway resident. And so with my work with within Skyway and the South Parks area of Seattle, community had challenged me to bring my skills from the city of Seattle into unincorporated King County. And I facetiously told them, when you find a job that fits my skill set, send it to me. And I got an email from a community member that said, remember when we were in grocery outlet and we had you surrounded and we told you need to start doing stuff over in Skyway? You said when you found, when I found something, send it to you. We found it. And they sent me the role that I'm in now, which is family and community engagement. Within that role, I've been able to really partner with Skyway, using the Renton School District government to bring additional resources into Skyway as an unincorporated community. It's also the last Black sanctuary of Washington State. So the community is sitting on business and saying, we appreciate that we want to learn from what's happened to our brothers and sisters in other areas, and we want to make sure that we remain a mainstay in a sanctuary. And so with that in mind, housing was premier for them. And it, I say it to this day, and people laugh, and Kathleen laughs about it. She was looking for board members, and there was Mark Santos Johnson from the city of Renton that had said, I think you need to meet Cherryl Jackson Williams. Unbeknownst to her, I could not eat anywhere. I couldn't pump gas. I couldn't sit at the library. I couldn't go to grocery outlet. I could not sit down and eat at Beachcomber without a community member saying, I know that you're not at work, but I need to talk to you about bringing a community land trust into Skyway. So when we met with that particular piece, her carrying the piece of wanting to make sure that her board had voices of folks that really centered equity in how they arrived at decision making.
Right.
And I came in with the challenge from community, in the sense of, you need to bring us a community land trust.
Okay.
And so that's how, being a part of the board, and then them trusting and honoring where I've came from, my decision making, and supporting me and choosing me to be their board chair.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna let you have the final say.
Okay.
What you want people to know about what's going on with your work or the event, everything. Just let everybody know.
Okay. Well, one of the things that I want to say is that welcome home and you're invited. Stacey Abrams is here not because we want her to talk about Homestead. We want her to talk about us. How do we move as a community when we want to center our voices, our choices, and think about equity, and how does that look when it comes to home ownership? And we want you to have a seat at that table. We want you to sit in that space. We want you to soak up all the love that will be there. And we want you to be inspired, because all of the organizations out here fighting for equity, especially when it comes to social justice and housing, we can't do it by ourselves. We need you to partner with us. And if you need a little bit of inspiration to do so, we invite you to join us. Thank you.
Well said. Okay. And we will be right back after this break.
We're electric. I feel like the fans can feel that, and we're just going to keep this going.
He struck him out! Gino, like he never left Seattle!
Keep bringing that energy. We really need it. Let's go.
Got him at home! The high baseball count did it!
We show a lot of heart. This team has a lot of fight. You guys have been electric. You guys are the key to this, so thank you guys.
In Seattle, it's more than just coffee. It's community. At the station, we brew more than just your favorite cup. We brew connection. From Beacon Hill to Columbia City, we're a space for artists, activists, and everyone in between. A place to gather, create, and simply be. Whether you need a quiet place to work, a lively spot to meet friends, or just a moment to unwind, find your place at the station. More than coffee, it's home. Visit us in Beacon Hill or Columbia City. The station, where community happens. Here on Back to Vesa, it's always been important to me that we uplift stories from across the region, and that no matter where you live in the nation, you never have to miss a moment of the show as we continue to highlight the beauty, excellence, and resilience of our communities across the Pacific Northwest. Why? Because representation matters. So no matter where you live, be it the Central District or Centralia, Portland or Pullman, or anywhere across the country, I encourage you to join me on this Back to Vesa journey by downloading the free Fox Local app on your phone or smart TV as we continue to elevate the very best in our communities.
Working with venture has been totally different than working with a traditional bank.
They're real, and they meet you right where you stand.
I was recently funded, and that money has just changed the trajectory of what we're able to do and our output. This has been just more than just funding or a one-on-one connect. It's been an opportunity for us to really grow and connect and build roots within the community.
As a small business owner, you need to put your faith into the right people, and they seem like good people to put their faith into.
Well, I have been so happy to be able to be here in the Converge Media Studios this week, guest hosting The Day with Trae. You'll see her back here next week, but otherwise, I'm Alicia Crank. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this week and hanging out with all of our guests. Thank you, Cheryl, for being here with us today as well. Me. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Have a great event on Saturday.
We will.
And Trae will be back next week. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.